which obviously that right to lease over that 18 acres has some type of value. And I think what Vern's saying perhaps is that value should be looked at, I think.
Who's going to decide what that is? Do I get an appraiser to determine what that is? You're going to spend more money than you're going to get for the release.
I would just like to have something in writing to the town that says that we will be able, if we wanted to build a town hall down.
We do.
I'm telling you, you have that right
We
now.
have that already.
You're not going to get any more.
But we don't have anything that says it.
Yes, you do.
Yes, we
There's
do.
a deed. There's a covenant and a deed that says that you have that right. All you're doing is releasing that right from a portion of the property. You still have it on the rest of the property.
Okay.
I promise you.
All right.
It's still there.
I understand that. I understand that.
And I know what you're saying, Jim. The problem is, I don't know that it's worth very much for those 18 acres. With them knowing for sure that it wasn't going to go there in the first place, I don't know how much they're going to be willing to give us. And I don't know what we would even ask from a dollar standpoint. I mean, you get, I couldn't put a value on it. I have no idea what it's worth. So I mean, that's the difficult part.
Were there comments, brief comments, Jody?
Mary Jo Hoover, Mill Road. Yeah, I have a couple of brief comments. Number one, should we really be using a PUD that's 10 years old? Should we not go back and revisit everything? Should we just assume that everything is the same as it was on that property 10 years ago? Number two, speaking of taxpayers and money, why did we spend over $200,000 a few years ago paying a man named Kent to do a master plan study for the town of Cicero, which encompassed Bridgeport and Brewerton, and then somehow the town board approved another master plan just for Brewerton alone. And in the master plan that Kent approved, and which the board subsequently adopted, there was going to be a town hall built down in the Whiting Road area, between Whiting and South Bay.
It was brought up, yes.
And it was approved.
Yes.
So why are we haggling about keeping a lease on property on the Cicero Commons? It did not, I mean, Chet was on the board back then. Then Chet became supervisor. Chet was supervisor of the master plan that decided that we were going to build one down near Whiting Road.
It was never decided that we were going to build one. It was proposed. But that's as far as it went. And it went dependent on how much development was going to go in. Now there is, I think it's a 70 or 80 parcel housing project that's supposed to be just maybe a quarter mile east of that property. What we're talking about is Williams Farm.
Right.
Up there, Whiting Road and South Bay Road and 31 was the area that was proposed to someday maybe build a new town hall.
Okay, it was the original Cicero Commons, north of Route 11, Route 31. I get confused because the Walmart was also called Cicero Commons when it was first proposed. The original Cicero Commons that you're talking about north of Route 31,
Right.
Is that an Empire Zone?
No.
I don't think so. Nothing was ever done with it, so I never heard of anybody applying for it. I don't believe anybody in there has got an Empire Zone.
My understanding from the managing partner out there is that they had applied for it, but it was never implemented. They had applied for Empire Zone, but it was never implemented.
It was never approved or implemented?
It doesn't contain an Empire Zone.
No.
It never did, that I'm aware of. And just so you, and you may be aware of this, in regards to the PUD up at the Commons, earlier this year, the board unanimously said that the project that's going on at Loretto is in conformance with the PUD, and that's been sent to the planning board. You probably know that, but just so everybody else is clear as to what's going on with that particular project. And then in regards to the master plan, that was over on Whiting Road, that was gonna be a hamlet area. Obviously, when the board accepted that, things were progressing and things were building and houses were built at a little more quicker pace. And that's still the plan though, that's still part of that master plan. When it comes to fruition, if it does, that's the idea, to have that kind of still the hamlet area of the town. You know, it's developer driven now.
Okay, thank you.
May I say something?
Of course, right.
This is too big an issue for you folks to put on a sheet of paper that you're going to lease or let go a certain amount of property in the Commons. In the Commons, is who owns that property right now?
New Dimensions.
New Dimensions is the name of the corporation.
It belongs to who?
New Dimensions. It's a
They own,
corporation.
they own the property.
They do.
Well, I'm confused. I think this is too big an issue for you to sit here and put it in front of us in 2 minutes and ask for approval. I think you should delay it, put it in writing, and let people know what we're talking about, okay?
One more. It's mine.
My name is Rich Barling. I'm speaking on behalf of my parents and had some questions because I keep on hearing this word Cicero Commons. And after looking at some drawings and things like that, and then being told by some other members on this board, some other members of the planning board in years past, that I didn't know what I was talking about. But everything I said before came true, as in when I first looked at the Walmart area, I said, well, that's a Lowe's. And the planning board chairperson at that time told me I was incorrect, that I didn't know what I was talking about until Lowe's went down on East Circle Drive and moved out of the Walmart area. So I didn't know what I was talking about, but it came true. And I also told them that if you let a Walmart go in, you were going to put a Target right across the street. I was told, no, we can't do that, it won't happen, it won't happen. 2 or 3 years later, there's a Target across the street. Now, I recently found out that this Cicero Commons, I'm trying to get a better definition on it. Are you talking just up here by the ice skating rink? Or are you talking about the whole Cicero Commons project? Because there's a confusion here of Walmart, Cicero Commons, this is Cicero Commons, there's another Cicero Commons project down here in by the pastors. And if you're umbrellaing all of them, I've seen plans where behind my parents' house, the level of their property is going to be 6 foot lower than what all that project is there. And after hearing this, that it's against the law for a town to lease property, not to put the chief of police on a hot seat, but you're breaking the law. And if you're breaking the law, why are you even considering some of this stuff? We talk about leases and everything like that. You can't have a lease, period. It's against the law. That's plain and simple. That's common sense. Okay? When Walmart went in, you flooded out people's houses on Gillette Road. You were told that you were burying wetlands, and you let it happen anyway. I don't understand why you're letting things go like this. If you're breaking the law, if you're not following the letter of the law, then fix it. Do it right. Okay? I'm frustrated at it. I've heard people continually say, you know, well, we're going to change things. Well, if you're going to change things, you need to follow the law.